Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahshua Bashem, Mukakodah, Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. See how where the Most High takes me on this. I don't know if this is going to be short or long. Let's just go with the spirit. Anyway, this is based upon this video I'm watching. I ain't watched the whole thing. I'm up to this point. This is 33, a little bit more than 33 minutes in. GMS Carolina 08. Title, questions, answers, comments, and commentary. Hashtag Esau, hashtag Book of Revelation, hashtag Walk and Talk. So the title I'm going to give this video is Esau and Cain, one and the same. Esau and Cain, one and the same. So I'm just gonna hit it right here, 33, 37. I might go back a little bit. I think I caught it right when he read the question. Matter of fact, let me do this to be on the safe side. So let's see where the spirit takes me.
It's a Dhamma, meaning from the ground.
I'm sorry, let me go back here.
Why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Okay, so she was having a little problem in the pregnancy, as y'all know.
Yeah, he was reading out of a quoting out of Genesis chapter 25. Rebecca, the wife of Isaac, pregnant, and they were struggling. Now, when you look those words up, I may go into it. Let's see. They were having a death match. It was like a UFC type of event, you know, with no rules. Now, there were two spirits. And when a baby's born, father puts a seed in the woman through the act of sex. And sometimes you have twins, sometimes you have, triplets, quadruplets, so forth, sextuplets. And that could be the seed being split. If you have just the one seed that's split, potent seeds that's split, that's two different spirits, and they may even look the same, but they're two different spirits. But they could have this. They have the same. Well, they have the DNA from the father and the mother. Your DNA comes from your father and your mother. If your mother's an Edomite, you have Edomite DNA in you, so you can understand. Now, that's a whole other subject. We can go into that. And when I say DNA, that means dark-skinned Jake man gets with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Scandinavian-looking Edomite woman. The child is not going to come out as dark as the father. He may come out still dark, or he may come out maybe the complexion of the elder right here, you know. But anyway, in the case of Isaac and Rebekah, Isaac put the seed in. There was a split there, and there were two spirits. There was a spirit of Jake, which is a completely different spirit than Esau. Most High put the spirit of Esau, because remember, Esau, when Esau dies, he doesn't go to hell. He doesn't burn in hell. He goes into the spiritual realm, the fourth dimension. The Israelites, when they die, they go into the spiritual realm, the fourth dimension. So Esau doesn't get tortured in heaven. He doesn't go to a spiritual hell. Ishmael goes into his spirit. You got certain people that come out. You got Jakes that look like Ishmaelites. You got Jakes that look like Edomites. You got Edomites that look like Jakes. But we know who's who by the spirit. So, Christians will say, oh, well, they got the same mother and the father, so they're the same nation. Well, the scriptures say in Genesis 25, two different nations. So out of those two people is going to come two different nations. Out of Noah, 3 sons, you had 3 different sons, which ultimately had multiple nations. Out of Ham, you have 4 major nations: Canaanites, Put, Pawat, Cush, which are the Ethiopians, Etrians, and so forth. And what was the other one? Mizraim, which is Egypt. It was never called Egypt. Ancient Egypt was always called Mizraim. Even scholars will tell you that. So this is the Most High setting up the nations. The nation that the last nation that he established was the Israelites. That's in Deuteronomy chapter 7. So we were a nation, you can say we were a tribe, a clan, when we came into so-called Egypt, and we came out a nation. So the tribes were born inside of Egypt and inside of Canaan and at different times. But it doesn't matter where you were born geographically. It's based upon what your father is. That's what Christians don't understand. So this question that the individual asks is in the nature of, Jacob and Esau. And if those two babies were struggling, then she couldn't get no sleep. She'd wake up at night because her body, her pregnant woman, sometimes you see the baby move, right? Oh, the baby just kicked. And the women actually feel the babies. They feel the growth. The stomach gets bigger because the infants, which means little ones, become bigger. And sometimes your teeth get messed up because them babies being born need nutrition, so it takes it from the woman's body. Sometimes women get pre-diabetes. Your body's changing because it focuses on the baby or the two babies in there. You have women that lose hair because of and they have these crazy cravings, and that all works with the flora, the microbiome. There's a balance in your gut. And the gut is a second brain. So she didn't know, I can't really get no sleep. Things start shaking because they both hated each other. Why? Because they had two opposing spirits. So are we supposed to hate Esau? You got that right. If they said you damn Skippy would hate Esau. Well, why do you say that? Because Jacob hated you. And Esau hated Jacob. But do we act on it? No. It said, let not the sun go down on thy wrath, right? Be angry, but sin not. So this man is in the power seat. We can't go up again. We can't show our hate to him. We can't go out and just start knocking him out because they have the power. And see, some Jakes don't want to wait, and they want to make shit happen. And they're not of the elect. Clearly, they're not of the elect. So now you might ask, well, how does Cain come into all this? Esau came many, many years after, generations after Cain. But we know by the Spirit. We know by what Cain did. Cain rose up and slew his brother Abel, which Abel came back as Jacob. Now Esau wanted to do the same thing, but he didn't succeed. He wanted to kill Jacob, but he said, I'm going to wait until after my father dies. Then I'm going to kill this guy. And Jacob had to, sucker up to him. Esau was more of a warrior. He was more of a killer. Remember, it said Jake, dwelling in tents, sitting in the shade, getting sipping lemonade, getting paid. That's Jake. Jake want to chill. Esau, them multi-billionaires, they go rock mountain climbing. They live up in the mountains. They taking jujitsu. These billionaires, they taking jujitsu. They running. They're on a bike. They doing all. They hunting. They doing all this shit, active shit. They get really active. Jake want to chill out. Okay, he does what he got to do, and he gonna chill out. And that's what we're going to be doing. That's why we're going to need slaves, because we're going to be chilling out. So that's the whole difference. That's the whole difference right there. Two opposing spirits. And you Christians, when you say the Gentiles, what you're really saying is Edomites. You don't give a damn. Vocab don't give a flying fuck about the Arabs in the Middle East. He don't give a damn about the Egyptians. He don't give a damn about he don't care about that inside joke. He don't give a damn about the Chinese, Japanese. He don't give a fuck about them. Because if he did, he would be going to them places. He wouldn't waste all this time trying to so-called wake us up. So he really doesn't have the gospel at all. He doesn't have the gospel at all. He's doing his own thing by his own belly. Because it clearly states when you go out to witness, if the people don't accept your truth, then you shake the dust off your feet, right? You don't go back to him no more. You don't keep going back to the same. You go to the guy, your next door neighbor, and you keep telling him about the love of Jesus, and he says he's a hip atheist, and you're going to keep going back to him. Well, you're doing your will. You're not doing the will of the Father. Look, Vocab Malone is not doing the will of the Father. First of all, he doesn't know the will of the Father, and he's not a son. He's not a son of the Most High. And that goes with all you Christians. That's why it amazes. I'm amazed at the fact that you guys like to always go hand in hand, back and forth with Christians. Christians will never admit, you know what? They'll never do that. They'll never say, you know what? These Israelites are correct. We are going. They'll never admit that because they're fighting tooth. And I understand why Vocab does that. He's an Edomite. We deem him as being an Edomite until he proves otherwise. But you Jakes that follow him, you are worse than fucking Vocab. I understand Vocab. I understand David Woods. I understand these Edomites that are fighting tooth and nail. But you Jakes, and another thing about you Jakes, you Jakes don't give a damn about Chinese, Japanese, Africans, Eastern. You don't give a damn about them. You only give a damn about Edomites. Well, what about Edomites? Are they going to make it? Well, the scriptures clearly say that. Well, if you go to this, that's why we here at GMS, we do not deal with Christians at all. If a Christian come up and say he's Christian and shuts his fucking mouth, don't say nothing, and just listens, okay, he can stay. Maybe he's going to come in. If he asks questions related to what we're going through, what scriptures are, what topic we're going into, then you can answer them questions. If he asks a question, a loaded question, you know what I mean by a loaded question? The question is really a what do you call it? A critique against, but he'll form it as a question. I'm just asking a question. What about an Edomite if he did this and that? Then you already know the nigga's a Decepticon. So anyway, let's go and let's let this thing ride.
No. Going on, it says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations, they're not the same. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And you can tell an Edomite from a Jake by their spirit. I'll tell them, look, dance in front of me. Let me throw some music on, and you dance. I can look at you. Now, there's Jakes out there that they ain't the best dancers in the world, but they got some form of rhythm to them. But I can take a Jake, a guy that look like a Jake, okay, dance, a woman, an Edomite woman, a man, okay, you dance. You can clearly see the difference. Like, for example, I'm going to give you a perfect example. What's her name? What's her damn name? Julia Roberts in the movie on Netflix. And if you didn't watch it, watch the movie. Good movie. A lot of messages in that movie. There was a scene where she's with the Jake, and I think he plays some music and he makes a drink, or he makes these fantastic drinks. So at first she didn't like the guy, but then she started digging on the guy and she wanted to get with the guy, and she's married to this Edomite, this guy, Hoyt. I forget the guy that played Hoyt. But he's a child actor. So she kind of fell in love with the Jake, but she didn't like the Jake. She said, I don't trust them. Because she hugged them, but they were playing they were playing, what's the damn song? One of the brothers in Sakari. Damn. God damn, I can't. I got the album right in hand's reach. I got to look for it. Hold up. Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge. They played the #1 song, Jagged Edge. Anyway, I got the CD, the actual CD, right in arm's length. But anyway, one of the singers, he's in Sakari. So there was a video on that some Jake woman, are you so and so from Jagged Edge? Yeah, I'm an Israelite now, whatever the case may be. Anyway, I believe that song was playing. Then the Jake actor, he started dancing. You can clearly see he was a Jake because he kind of looked like he could be a Hamite. As soon as he started that's a Jake. He looked very dark. That's a Jake. Then the camera panned on her, and she was doing like 5 or 6 different Jake dances, but she looked fucking like she was about to spaz out. But I used to always think she was an Israelite, cause she had like a dark. She wasn't like a pasty Edomite, Scandinavian look. She kind of looked like one of the Latin tribes. But as soon as I saw her dancing, I said, that's an Edomite. I said, she's an Edomite. Straight up. Now, like I said, you got a couple of Israelites out there that ain't the best rhythmically, but there's a rhythm to us. You see? I went into all that to come back into this. So, you can look at it Edomite. Edomite, that's a new nation. Hey, what took the American Bandstand? What got that out of business? What pushed that off the TV screen? What canceled that show? Soul Train. Why did Soul Train knock the American Bandstand out? Because of the dancers. Them Edomites on American Bandstand, they were all spastic looking. Then when Soul Train came along, everybody said, nope, we ain't gonna watch American Bandstand. I remember as a kid, they had the Soul Train line at the end. Them were Jakes. But they had this one chick, the Moabite chick, she danced just like a black chick. And they picked her. They said, you're gonna be a dancer. Little cute Moabite chick. But she probably a Jake. You even had certain people that look like Edomites but dance just like Jake. They were most likely Israelites. So this is how you know. But for the most part, look at Trump. Trump's an Edomite. How do we know that he's an Edomite? Look at that goddamn dance he does. That's the dance of an Edomite. So let's go. Let's let it play.
And the one show.
See, now we're analyzing things. You notice I didn't come up with a creative. I didn't come up with my own thing. I said I would listen to this video, and I would listen to the other questions, which I could have dealt with. Then I got to this one. I said, let me deal with this.
Shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall.
Stronger than the other. When it comes to sport, basketball was created by. You can go to the history. Created by the Edomite. A white man, could have been a Jake, looked like an Edomite. They had a court, set of baskets with a backboard to, on either side. Then you got two teams. Now back in the day, like the 40s, 50s, had Edomites. Watch them Edomites play basketball compared to how Jake plays it. Completely different, man. And Jake slowly dominated. You had the Bill Russells, not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is I remember him when he was Lou Alcindor. Walt Frazier, was Walt Frazier? Chamberlain. And then Dr. J. We was like, he was Dr. J. That was the MJ of the time. Then you had MJ, Michael Jordan. Then you got Kobe, but when Jake came in there, now when you watch the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, the championships, which I watch the game at the end of the season, then I get into it. I'm not an avid basketball fan, but I watch games, but I'm but at the end of the season, I watch the two, and I watch you got March Madness coming up, which is a college That's all them college boys, because you're gonna see who's gonna be the first pick, the second pick, and so forth. Same thing with the NFL, AFC, and so forth. But Jake dominates it, right? Back in the day, Esau dominated boxing back before the turn of the century, but a lot of those so-called Edomites, John L. Sullivan and Corbett, Gentleman Jim Corbett, a lot of these guys, a lot of them were Jakes. A lot of them were straight up Jakes, but they looked like Edomites. So then you had Jack Johnson, he had to fight through it. They didn't want to fight a black fighter, this, that, and the third. And he he changed the whole game. He's getting them fine-ass Edomite women. Then you had Ali. So Jake done dominated boxing, pretty much. What about them Russians? The lot of them Russian and Chechnyan boxers, Kyrgyzstan and Mongolia and all these different Russian states or whatever, provinces. A lot of them are Jakes, man. A lot of them are straight up Jakes. You know? Because they do it. It doesn't them Russians, they'll beat a Jake. They'll beat a Jake, man. You know? So they got to be, which they go back. The Russians was founded by the Scythians, which the Scythians were Israelites. The Apostle Paul spoke about the Scythians receiving salvation. So it's obvious the Scythians were Israelites. So it was a group of Israelites and the barbarians that went up like north, I would say northeast, up into Russia. So up in the tundra. You know, Jake had to do all that. And the Scythians and the barbarians, they were warriors by nature. You know? So anyway, let me get back into this.
Just serve the younger. Y'all know the story. Okay? So in case you've been under a rock for the last.
It said the elder shall serve the younger. The elder is Esau. The younger is Jacob, obviously. Now Esau, scholars will say, yes, this happened during the time of King David. Yes, you're right. But it's going to happen again. Because Esau is still around.
20 years or so, we know that Esau was who? The progenitor of the Edomites. And the Edomites are who? So-called white men.
And why do we know that you're the Edomites as opposed to other nations? And you can't see it because we're the prophets unto the nation. We're not just the prophets to the Israelites. We're the prophets to all the nations. Because how would we know to tell the Edomites where they're going to go in the future? What part are they going to play in the kingdom? And for that matter, the other nations. Because we're the prophets. And you pushing this thing, no, we're not the Hebrew Israelites. We're the prophets of Israel. We're the prophets of Israel, all right?
Including the Israelis, right?
Well, the Israelis are Arab that followed the so-called laws. So a lot of them Israelis, which they don't look like Ashkenaz. That's why there's a difference between the Ashkenaz and the Israelis and the Falasha and the Sephardics, which I met Sephardic people and they act just like, if they ain't say nothing, oh, that's a Jake. Or who is that? That's a Puerto Rican chick. Or that's a Dominican chick, you know? Or Arab, whatever. I done met many Sephardics, and they'll tell you in a minute when they'll say I'm a Jew, and then they'll make it straight. They said, let's get this thing straight. I'm not an Ashkenazi. I'm not a European Jew. I'm a Sephardic Jew. And I'm thinking I'm talking to one of the tribes, which I was.
And these devils over here, so-called Caucasians, that's what you come from. The first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, meaning what? You can see forth his blood through his skin. And to show you how much these devils lie, you will say, that ain't true. He was that hairy garment. He was hairy. He had red hair. But then you turn around and try to say Adam, right? The word Adam.
Later in Genesis, to be exact, what is it? Genesis 27. It says that he had to take. Let me go to that. because he didn't have hair as a baby. He was just red as a hairy garment, a red garment, because what they used to do, they used to take skins of animals and they would dye them red. So where am I going to go? What is it? Genesis. Pretty much back to the basics. Genesis. We did all the deep breakdowns. We did that years ago when we first came on. You go find some of our old videos. Okay, let me do this. Okay, right here. 11 verse. Genesis 27:11. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a what? A hairy man, and I am a smooth man. You see, Jake has very little to no hair on certain parts. I got hair on my arms, but you got to look closely to see it, you know. But Esau's forearms, they just hairy, like a gorilla or a bear, you know. You know, Jake got certain little bit of hair on his chest, but then Esau looked like he got a rug on his chest, you know. So this is the hair. The hairy part didn't come in when he was a baby, although the 7 used to teach that. They said they compared him to a red hairy garment, meaning the color, not the texture. So she had to take, give me a second, I believe it was goat skin. Give me a second here. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. All right, goat. Here it goes. Go now to the flock and fetch me good goat and kids, savory meat. That's to make the venison, the meat, right? 16 verse. And she put the skin of the kids, or the goats, of the kids of the goats, young goats, upon his hand and upon the smooth of his neck. Right? Because now, as you read down, give me a second. Back to the basics. All right, and Jacob said unto the father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according to as thou hast badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat thy venison. By the way, what is venison? What is venison? It's goat. And that's some good food. You tribes out there, I ain't eating no goat. Yeah, go to some good food. Eat that thy soul may be blessed. And Isaac said unto him, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly? Like I don't know, man. He don't sound like Esau. And remember, Isaac's favorite son was his first son, and Isaac is Yahushai, my son. And he said, because the Lord Yahweh, he fast, man, thy power brought it to me. So he lied to him. Let me see. He said, Isaac. Remember, Isaac was going blind, right? And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee. Now somebody say he rubbing up on him. He rubbing. That would an Edomite would do that. Damn devil, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac and his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice. You know, you can hear Jake on the radio and say that's a Jake. Then you can hear Edomite, but you got some Jakes that can do Edomites, right? But Jake has a certain tone to him that's different from Esau. But the hands are the hands of Esau. So you know the rest of the story. He lied to his father. His mother helped him lie to his father to get that blessing. Did that make Jacob a bad guy? No. It was fulfilling prophecy. This is the way the Most High set up the prophecy. So with this event happening here, all of the sons, the daughters that came out of Esau, you're still going into slavery based upon what you don't get mad at us, get mad at your father Esau. But guess what? Man's goings are of the Lord, so how can a man then understand his own way? This is simple, basic stuff that you can't get. So come on now, let me see, where am I? Let me listen to some more.
It's Adomi, which is not, okay? The word Adam in the Hebrew.
Right, these patriots and Bible thumpers, these Bible Belt people, they'll say, well, Adam means red. No, it does not mean red. Even though the blue letter, let me do this. Let me go to Genesis 2. Genesis 2. So they can't get around them not being Esau. That's why vocab said, well, they were done away with. There was no record after the Herodians and, Yeah, but just because people start writing about certain people, that doesn't mean that they go away. People just not writing about them. Okay, let me see. I thought Adam is in the third. Give me a second here. Okay, it's here. It's all over the place. And Adam gave names. Okay, let's look up the word Adam. 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 Now they say it means man, right? Man, mankind, man, the first man. Let's go to the root word. And I bet you they're going to say it's red. Right? Red. So they say Adam was red. But let's do this. Let's go to the word ground. Adam was named after the ground. Okay, Genesis till the ground. Okay, let's see what happens. The blue letter goes off at times. There it goes. That's his name. Adama. Ground, earth, right? Adam meaning terrestrial man. Let's go to the root. Which is red. No, the soil of the earth is the richest part that you plant with is a dark soil, not the red. But even though you got red soil. So that word doesn't mean red. It means it's from the word Adama, which means ground. Adam's name was ground. Let me do this. Give me a second. Let me do it this way. Matter of fact. Well, one more time. Okay, right here. Okay, it says ground. Every planet God caused rain, and there was not man to till it. Let me do it this way. Let me try it this way. Dust of the ground are. Genesis 2 verse 7, and Yahweh Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So his name was called Adam. Matter of fact, there was many of them. So what did the Lord name the Adamites? Genesis 5. People of the ground, of the earth, the soil of the earth. Because when you die, you go back into the earth, right? Okay, so now let's come back over here. Let's back to the basics. So if an Edomite says, yeah, Adam means red because he's from the red soil, then you ask him, what's the difference between Adama, Adama, Adawam, what else? Adama, Adawan, and Adam. What's the difference? There's three different words. What does Adawam and Adama mean? What's the difference? They don't know. They don't understand the Hebrew. They just heard somebody say Adam means red. So Adam was a red man, just like us. We red, blushing. The face blushes. That's an Adamite. That's a person that nope. That's why I said, you say, what's the difference between the word? What language is that? Hebrew. Okay, you're a Hebrew expert. Okay, what Adam, Adawam, and Adama? What's the difference between these three words? They don't know. They do not know. What does Adama mean as opposed to Adam? They don't know. What's the Hebrew word? Oh, Adam means man. Oh, okay. Well, what does Ash mean? Ayash. What does that mean? You can show them that Ayash means man. So how can Adam mean man or red man? Hey, what does Isaiah chapter 49 say? Let me go to that right quick. Back to the basics. You trap them up. We're back to the basics. So you can trap them Christians up. Just if they make a statement, you can ask them about going to the statement. They might say Apostle Paul. I said, what do you know about Apostle Paul? I know a lot about the Apostle Paul. He was the apostle of the Gentiles with the other nations. Okay, what nationality was the Apostle Paul? Oh, he was a Roman? Okay, so now I know you don't know shit. Okay, so now give me a second. Okay, and he have made my mouth like a sharp sword. So when you having a debate, you don't got to have a fair debate. You can talk over the guy. You can interrupt the guy. You can say, let me go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times. You can say, well, I didn't hear that. Could you say it again? You can use them tactics, all right? You don't get, there's nothing fair about having a debate. It's a word fight. He makes any statement about something, you question him on that statement. Okay, what's the Hebrew word for that? Oh, you don't know Hebrew, but you claim to be a scholar. What kind of scholar are you? And if they don't like it, then they can walk on down the street. We don't have to have the debate. And if they say we're going to have a debate about this subject, you can change it up in the middle of the subject. You can bring forth what's called a straw man. Well, that's a straw man argument, yes, but do you have the answer to my straw man argument? And obviously you don't. It says, in the shadow of his hand hath he hid me and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me. So we're like we're a weapon. There's a term in law which is fighting words. Fighting. You say something to make somebody. You might say, first of all, your girl don't even look all that good. That nigga want to fucking fuck you up. Those are fighting words. So debate is a word fight. Even Denzel said that in The Great Debaters. He said this is a word fight. You don't beat yourself up. You go straight at the enemy and you destroy the enemy, man. You be rude. If they say you're being rude, I said, was not the Apostle Paul rude? And you say you follow Apostle Paul. So I'm coming in the spirit of Apostle Paul. So come on back. Getting ready to wrap this up.
Is Adama, meaning from the ground. Esau,
Didn't I just say that? Throw that in their face. If they say Adam means red, blush in the face, then you say, okay, good. I see that you know a little Hebrew. What's the difference between the word Adam, Adama, and Adawan? What's the difference?
Okay, two different words, but you say it's the same word. See, Adam was the first man. He was red, which means he showed forth the blood through the skin. You fucking liars. You hypocrite.
I wouldn't say that they're liars. They only regurgitating what they learned from some devil. They don't know. They don't know what they're going. They hoping that you don't got the answers, but you know that they don't have all the answers. You know you can take them into deep waters and drown them spiritually, of course.
Hypocritical, devil-ass liars. Your fake-ass forced pronunciation in your Hebrew, right? Or what you call Hebrew. It's not true. Anyway, that's the answer, man. Okay? We'll talk about these devils no more. At least in that sense. Let's go to the next question. So I'll go back and read this guy. Momo, his question again. Momo said, greetings, GMS South Carolina 08. Have you ever traced Esau's bloodline a little further than Isaac? No, it didn't go back further than Isaac. And before he was...
That's a stupid, unlearned question. I said, first of all, I'm not going to answer that question. Do you read the Bible? Well, if you're doing to trace it back, you would have to go back to who? Abraham. And before Abraham father, all the way back to Adam. So they came from the same line, but there was a split in the lines. Remember, the chosen come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Esau can actually say, my line goes back to Abraham, and you tell them, yes, you're right. When they say my line goes back to Shem, you're absolutely correct. Our line goes back to Shem too. Do you know the Chinese are Shemites? Do you know the Japanese? That goes, the Arabs are Shemites. Even the Arabs say, well, what you calling us anti-Sem? We're Shemites too.
Esau, he was Cain, right? The first murderer. And who was Cain's father? Cain's father was Noah. Okay? Cain's father was...
No, Cain's father was Adam. I know what he was saying. So Adam is Yahushai, right? The first Adam, and the second Adam is found in the book of Romans chapter 5. It's the same Adam.
Noah. Now he had the soul. He had the soul in him of the serpent, right? The spirit of the serpent.
Yeah, Esau was Cain in the previous life. Jacob was what is it? My name's Abel. Abel just means transitory. You're here for a minute and you're gone. Cain's name is Quayan, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to look for it. It means like a dagger. You know, like in the prison system, you got guys that make shanks. They'll take sharp objects or whatever, and they make shanks. That's what he was. That's what that word means in the Hebrew. A killing instrument.
Which is not Satan, man, because Satan don't have kids. Come up on a higher level, Jake.
Well, Satan, they don't even understand Satan. They think Satan is a spiritual demon. There's a physical counterpart of the spiritual demon, Satan. Satan merely means enemy. If your next door neighbor, if you become an enemy to your next door neighbor, you call him Satan. You know? Shatan just means enemy, adversary.
We heard all that fairy tale stuff already. He the seed of the serpent. See, what happened was Satan, he convinced Eve and he had sex with her. How fucking stupid is that? Satan is a spirit. He don't have a penis. Okay? He's a spirit. Anyway, have you ever traced Esau's bloodline a little further than Isaac? No. Who do you guys believe?
Well, yes, you can. By Abraham father, Abraham's father's father, Abraham's father. Abraham's father was Terah. You got to go back. Then it takes you back to the table of nations, which the scholars call it, which is the Genesis chapter 10. It tells you the sons that came out of Ham. It tells you the sons that came out of Japheth. It tells you the sons that came out of You know, you got Hebrew, Eber, Peleg, and Joktan. You know,
believe who Esau's natural father is. We read it already. His natural father was Isaac in the flesh. Goodbye. Let's move on. All right. Let's get another here. The next one, we covered acupuncture, right? Okay, this one is from Shamar Yahweh. All right? And I assume it's a brother. He says, in Revelation 18:2, what are the devil's foul spirits and hateful birds? Okay. So in Revelation 18:2, what are the devil's foul spirits and hateful birds? Well, first, before I tell you, right, what that's talking about is when you read verse 1, Revelation 18:1, it talks about Babylon, right? And it's going to be, if Babylon the Great is fallen, let's go and read it. How about that? But the answer to the question is, that's talking about different desert creatures and animals that's going to inhabit Babylon the Great after it's destroyed. And to prove that, we got a precept or two we can read. But let's get Revelation 18:1.
So anyway, you can watch the rest of this. I'm pretty sure you're going to answer the questions correctly. You know? Anyway, with that, shalom, on to the next shalom.